Everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. Whew, it has been a long, long day. So we had the class. I thought it was good. Joaquin and Crypto Sticko will, that's actually his name, Crypto Sticko. I guess we'll get feedback from them. The feedback that I got during the class was dead on, so I'm liking that. But as for a Sunday, what have we seen this week that's been, almost insane, right? We've got all kinds of news. Oof, let me reopen my notes. All kinds of news happened, right? Buddy Boy got arrested. That was last week, but it played into this week because it was finally released. There's been a lot of downward pushing or manipulation, as I like to call it, on Bitcoin, which has held back the whole market. We have Poll going in today. We've got, what's the other one? Cardano going in today. Those two upgrades and fork. One is an upgrade, the other one's a fork. That's pretty interesting to me. That is pretty interesting to me. But I'll tell you something. I have not seen any kind of change in the market just yet. Like, none. Let me move this over. When I go over here, let's see. Yeah, Polygon Matic is still Matic for now on CoinMarketCap. I'm not hearing any downward push, but remember, it's happening today, so I'm not really expecting any movement until tomorrow, or later, tomorrow and later this week. If you're looking for a poll, it's not happening today. It's been much. It's been much. The class at 9 a.m. was good. Went longer than I expected. Didn't want it to go that long, but it felt right in giving out the information. When I was looking at, my project plan for doing the class, there was too much in my project plan for that kind of class. And when I say too much, I mean way too much information. I was going into the information I have to share is like going into the corporate filings and things like that. That's too deep for that kind of conversation. And I realized that there really does need to be a little bit more focus on the actual, give me a moment. Let me just set up this screen. That'll make me happy. Let's see. There you go. Nope. We need a little bit more focus on the... There you go. That's much better. On actually how to do research, how to read articles. I was talking to everybody about what it means to know how to read. And that sounds rude, but it's not. When you were younger, you learned how to read a newspaper. The news sources that we have now are completely different than the news sources we had when we were younger. So we spent a lot of time digging into, what's FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, what kinds of headlines that we should be paying attention to, could be paying attention to, misleading headlines that make you think you're going to get something of quality, but then you don't, even vice versa. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to get into. But let's talk about this week. This week was actually kind of fun. Just saying. At least to me, it was fun, right? I mean, we had Wall Street firms, including Bank of New York, Truist, I believe Wells Fargo, and a few others, paying up to $470 million as a group because of everything that they're doing wrong. I want you to let that wash over you for a minute. That's literally saying that in terms of fines, almost $500 billion has been paid by financial institutions. The very institutions that we're supposed to be able to trust. The very institutions that the SEC is supposed to be overseeing or helping to oversee, right? Them, the OCC, just a whole bunch of agencies supposed to be overseeing this stuff. So how is it that these banks, you know, as a group, paying almost $500 billion in fines, are still in business? Doesn't that kind of say that, hey, they need to be fixed? At least to me. To me, it says, a lot of these banks need to be fixed. Things from misleading depositors to data management, just different kinds of things going on. And then you have other banks that are actually doing well enough to be looking at innovative technologies. And that, to me, is a little bit more than interesting. Wow, nobody in the chat. I guess it's because it's Sunday and I hope you're all barbecuing. You have the DOJ with Tether's assistance getting back $5 million of stolen assets. Starling Bank was acting the fool, so they got hit. Let's see, Shiba Inu launching a new DAO. Telegram, like I said, Buddy Boy was arrested. He was released. He just got a bigger jail cell. So he's released out of the physical jail, but he can't leave France. I don't think that's going to work out well for them. Like, at all. How does it work out well for them? They've already had, various, during a show, too. They've already had various contracts canceled. The the UAE has put on hold a purchase of fighter jets from France. That there be a problem. So when you're looking at, all of the regulatory issues that face our industry, there are a lot of opportunities that abound. A lot. Did you know that this morning at about 10:15, Bitcoin hit 57.4 or something like that? 57,000. Did anybody take advantage of that dip? Maybe, maybe not. I was working, so I couldn't take advantage. I was actually still doing doing the class, so I couldn't take advantage. But did any of you take advantage? Yeah, exactly 10:15 a.m. 57,488.26. So below 57.5. It has since come back up to 58.5, but wow. Some people are freaking out. We keep going lower, we keep touching lower. Look at the resistance. Look at the floor that we keep hitting. The market is fighting back, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion, the market's fighting back. As much downward pressure as there's been, we've been pushing. Chang hard fork in 1 hour. What is that? 40 something minutes? 40 minutes. Thank you, Hutanic. So when I look at all this, doing a show. Somebody keeps texting me in the middle of the show. So Cardano's going in. Poll is changing. I'm just saying, we have a lot of sexy things going on. A lot of very sexy things going on. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. On the 18th, what do we get? Rate cuts. Rate cuts. Or a rate cut. 25 basis points, awesome. 50 basis points, I don't agree, but I can understand the reasoning, awesome. Right? I just think that 50 basis points sets a bad tone going forward. I really do think it sets a bad tone going forward because it to me, it says panic, and I don't think we're in panic mode. I think 25 basis points gives us room to maneuver. We can always raise, and some could say that we could always lower, but I think we should start with 25. See what that does. See what that does. Now, it is an election year, so I won't be surprised if it's 50. I will not be shocked. Like, at all. What else happened last week that we should be paying attention to? BlackRock's strategic global bond fund keeps buying in. For the first time in like a few months, BlackRock had outflows for their Bitcoin spot ETF. Outflows. People panic. When people do not have the right education, the right foundation about a given space, they panic. They panic. And what happens when they panic? Lettuce hands. Wilted lettuce hands. Ugh, you're drinking wine. I have port over there, and I believe I have one more bottle of wine. My daughter got home from her European vacation, and Daddy missed her badly. So we had a bottle of wine yesterday. Love my kids. Love my kids. They are my heir. They're the reasons why. They're the reason why I do everything. Let's see. Russia is going to try out using blockchain tech, not even blockchain tech, using crypto to avoid sanctions. Let's see how that works out. They better be using their own, because I know like Tether will shut that down. Venezuela tried to do it, and Tether was like, nah, nah, we'll shut your wallet down. Let me see. I am no doctor, but it looks like you need a glass. Man, yeah, I think I need a glass too. But they went out to lunch. So I'm not gonna have it. I'd make it a habit not to open a bottle unless at least one of my daughters is here, because they both like wine. So I'm chilling till tonight. Don't ask me what I'm having for dinner, because the cookout's tomorrow. So I'm expecting that I'm gonna have a light dinner tonight, because cookouts happen, boy. Whew. Whew. Tons of food. Let's see what else was important this week. Kraken lost the bid to have their case dismissed, the case against them brought by the SEC dismissed. So they're going to go to war. MakerDAO changed its name to Sky, caused a big uproar. Polkadot has been making moves. Now, I still don't have a slot for Polkadot. However, if you do, Polkadot's been making moves. Something to pay attention to. Hutanic, where is Patient One? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I'm not calling you out or anything. But she's beginning to look a little like Casper. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Animoca's been making moves. Let's see. What else was good? Wazir X getting buried. They're gonna get hit with a class action for sure. For sure. Okay, is her glass empty? Let's start there. Is her glass empty? She's bitching at you. Is her glass empty? I'm just wondering. Glass is never supposed to be empty, man. Go fix that. Let's see. Chainlink's Sergey Nazarov believes that RWA is going to be bigger than crypto. I said it before. I'll say it again. I don't know that that's big news. Because when you look at RWA and you say it's bigger than crypto, it's because of the assets that are involved. That's how everybody's going to be looking at that number. Whereas with crypto, you're not looking at any underlying assets or anything else. You're just looking at the crypto. But remember, there's still a percentage game that can be played. Hold on. This interface is like the worst. They seriously need to fix it. I was going to say you had box wine under your desk. That was too mean. That is incredibly violent. That is ridiculously violent, especially since the other day I showed you the bottle of wine I was drinking. Box wine. That is, wow. Wow, I should literally put you on timeout. Literally. Patient One, yes, continue bitching at him. Smack him in the back of the head for me, please. That was, to even say it. Here I am, busting my butt to deliver news to you, and this is how I get treated. For shame, sir. For shame. BlackRock rolled out Ethereum in Brazil. What else was good? Let me see. Oh, Sony. Sony's not playing games. Rolling out, what is it? Sonium. and not just rolling out Solium on their test net. Their test net's name is Minato. Not just rolling that out, but actually offering developer incentives. They're not playing games. I'm telling you, we're going to wake up and Sony's going to do something wild. I feel it. I feel like Sony's going to do something wild. And I'm telling you, pay attention to the fact that Sony just bought a crypto exchange. Sony is going to do something big. I can almost smell it in the air. Like an old man can smell rain coming. I can smell something coming from over there. And I think it's going to be huge. The Brave browser team laid off, 15% of their staff? 27 employees. Bitcoin Stacks or Stacks got a big boost in speed because they decided we're going to use our own validators, and that increases speed big time. Oh, Sony's going to come out of nowhere and leapfrogging the competition. Dude, I think they hopped in a freaking jet and just left everybody behind. Buying the first thing you heard of publicly was we bought an exchange. And then publicly, we're going to have Sonium. So you clearly know that they were working on both of those tracks for a minute. You don't just run out and buy an exchange in a day. That had to be negotiated for a while. Right? And then to be working on your own blockchain, whoo. If there's any kind of a tie, any whatsoever, between Sonium and freaking PlayStation, dude, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. What Toncoin did, Sony will do in a much more truncated time span. That's just going to be, I'm still like shaking to find out what's going on over there. We can speculate. That's what I was doing. I was speculating. But that's going to be huge. So Sonium is something that I'm waiting to get my hands on because I think it's just going to get big. Think about Toncoin, okay? Toncoin has a whole bunch of users, whatever. But they're not paying users. Those are potential users, yes, but they're not paying users. Sony's going to unleash this, or could be unleashing this, on paying users. Paying. And the concept is not far from gamers. Gamers might not like or care for metaverse stuff or anything else, but they're used to the concept of buying tokens to use within whatever game they're playing. That's going to be insane. Oh, the metaverse is huge. If I could share what I could share, the metaverse is bigger than what people think. Even now, it's bigger than what people think. Oh, the metaverse isn't a big deal. The metaverse is no. Metaverse is big. And it's getting better with every moment that passes. Trust me, the metaverse is going to be huge. And Sony is going to be all up in it to win it. You want to know who should have been like number one in the metaverse space? Roblox. Roblox should have been there, in my humble opinion. Roblox should have been there. Like, wow. Imagine what they could have done. Kids with their little headsets on, building, using coins to like buy stuff, to buy tools and stuff. They should have been all over the metaverse. The amount of money that they could have made, that they could still make. Anybody that has a gaming platform like Roblox and, the rest of them, you could be making big money. What's that commercial? You're sitting on a gold mine. Yeah. You're sitting on a gold mine. Just saying. Crypto payments via crypto, picking up steam. I'm telling you, this is huge stuff. Right? The Ethereum spot ETF, none of them are doing well. I can see why. It's not scarce. I told you, Bitcoin is not like any other coin. There's no scarcity to Ethereum. That's not what it was made for. It's not what it was made for. Just saying. Let's see. Ripple stablecoin? Whew, real close. Real close. That's going to be a constant moneymaker. And I'm telling you, when it hits the ground, PayPal took off. PayPal is already over $1 billion. Real USD is going to be bigger than that. Fast. Like, real fast. Who's one of their best friends? Who's one of Ripple's best friends? Yeah, they happen to be in bed with Circle, but still, who's one of their best friends? I'm telling you, Coinbase. And if Coinbase doesn't pick up RLUSD or real USD, oh man, that's going to be a problem, because they will just go to Genesis. They'll go to all of the other US based exchanges. They'll immediately already be involved overseas. Why? Because Ripple makes most of its money overseas. What are we talking about here? It's going to be a game changer. It will absolutely be a game changer. And those that are running stablecoins make billions per quarter. Just ask Tether. Ask Tether, how much money you making per? Yeah. I don't think there's a single coin out there that isn't paired against Tether, against USDT. Just saying. Just saying. Can you imagine watching a football game from the point of view of being on the ball field? You can do that. Imagine the level of things that are gonna happen. Again, here's something to really think about. Baseball won't be so boring. Forget about football. You already know football is going to be killer. Baseball won't be so boring if you could do that. If you could actually have that attached to the helmet, and when they swing, you actually see their motion, see what they're looking. Do they move their head? Imagine all of those little league kids that are trying to learn how to swing a bat. I can put this on and I can see, how anybody is swinging a bat, what it actually looks like. Game changer. Game changer. I think they will work with Ripple, but not offer interest holding it. Depends on who they're in bed with. Right? Depends on who they're in bed with. If they get in bed with BlackRock, Fidelity, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Right now, Coinbase is married to USDC and Circle. They ditched USDT. That was one of the biggest moves they made. I thought it was a mistake then. I think it's a mistake now. Captain Banana in the house. You're going to get an email. Everybody that took the class this morning, you're going to get an email of some resources. Not just some, but I mean it's about, the booklet I'm putting together is about 15, 16 pages. Got a little bit of substance to it. Got a little bit. But Captain Banana, you're supposed to be reading too. Don't forget. I didn't forget it. You're supposed to be reading. What else happened this past week that we should be paying attention to? Charles Hoskinson publicly distances himself from Emergo. Let's see. Ethereum ETFs actually saw some money coming in. First time in a long time. The Stacks upgrade, it happened, led to a price drop. But that price drop didn't happen because Stacks did anything wrong. The market took a hit. Again, FUD. FUD. Just happens to be timing. What else? Shiba Inu announces their second Shibarium game. Interesting. Tell you, they're Shiba Inu team. That squad is not having. They're not having it. They're not playing games. They are making. They are building out their infrastructure in such a way that they are going to be around for a long time. And that coin is rising. Unlike Doge, which is a meme coin, Shiba Inu has a complete ecosystem. So Doge right now ranks higher as far as market cap, but as far as ecosystem usage, all that good stuff, the Shiba Inu team, woo, blowing it out the water. Blowing it out of the water. Telling you, that's another one that I look at and I just go, that is too juicy. Too juicy. I'm 4x on that one. I am 4x on that one. Let's see. Coinbase is going to leverage AI to stop their outages, stop so many outages. Chainalysis reports growth in crypto-enabled CSAM networks, basically spy networks, spying on us. Not great. What else? Oh, SBI Holdings. SBI. That company has been touching crypto for a long time. A little bit of money here, a little bit of money there, a little bit of money everywhere. Just made an investment inside Oasis Partners, major Japanese financial company, and they're buying into Oasis to expand its reach and accelerate the adoption of blockchain technology in the gaming industry. Excuse me. Wow. That's Japan. You can't tell me Japan's not hot. Where's Sony? Japan. Cannot tell me Japan's not hot. Cannot tell me that. No way. Right? Let's see here. Custodia Bank laid off 25% of its staff. Remember, that's the bank that's almost dedicated to crypto. Let's see. People love the way no one nefarious ever goes to jail for what they do at the bank. Meanwhile, crypto is another story. Boom! That's exactly what I'm talking about. I know somebody who is involved in the whole Lehman Brothers thing. Know him well. His son, my son, played football together. And he dipped out before the proverbial stuff hit the fan. So he walked away squeaky clean and stayed out of the market, stayed out of the business, walked away. Took what he could take and walked away for a while. I think it was like a good year and a half, maybe even 2 years before he got back in the game. This guy is so good that when he got back in the game, he got brought in as a partner. Normally you have to buy your way in as a partner. He didn't. He's a big boy. Big boy. And who went to jail? Who went to jail? Nobody. Sam Bankman-Fried, jail. CZ, jail. What's his name? Pavel Durov, jail. Well, arrested. Case still has to happen, but they're seeing jail time. Everybody on FTX's, squad, jail. Like what? But meanwhile, they brought down the global economy and nobody saw bars. Not one. Not one. And you wonder why people are running to crypto. You wonder why. This is why. Let me see what you wrote. Cheaters hate it when they lose against something legit. Oh, they whine and they cry. Oh, my Lord. Big time. Big time. Why do you think they're buying up, like, physical assets? They're buying up starter homes across the United States. They're buying up the local businesses that support households. What I mean is all of the service workers, electricians, plumbers, HVAC, they're buying all of them up. All those companies, they're buying them up. Then what happens? I want you to hear this. Then what happens? Somebody becomes an electrician. They want to start their own business. If you're in the greater Atlanta area, you have to go far out to find business. Why? Because all those local, single family starter homes have been bought. Not only will they not be for sale, they're only for rent, but the work that gets done will be done by the companies they also bought, not those independents. They're creating pockets that they can control. When people think dystopia is not here, there's your example. Don't believe me? Go pull it up on 60 Minutes. Why do you think I'm involved in crypto? I'm involved in crypto because I believe that I need to be able to invest to secure my future and that of my offspring and their offspring and their offspring and their offspring. Because it's that tight. It's that tight. And people used to be like, "Oh, you're talking silliness," until that article came out on freaking 60 Minutes. Everybody was like, "Oh, Bill Gates isn't buying all that farmland," until they realize, holy moly, he is. Yeah. I had a very stark conversation. I think I told you guys about it. And I said that, and this is very harsh. This is very, very harsh. I'm not even going to play games about it. If you do not have your kids live with you until they can truly stand on their own, go buy something. Go buy their space. Whether you're in an apartment or in a house. If they do not know that, they will never know what it means to be able to own anything. Yes, a coming of age thing to do is go buy a car. But unless they have enough income to sustain that car and put money away, and I don't mean in that order, I mean put money away, and with what you have left over, you can afford that car, they shouldn't buy one. It should go toward investment. Not savings, investment. During the class today, I talked to everybody and said, look, everybody, here's the deal. If you go back as far as Mary Poppins, people are going to think I'm joking, but I'm not. Go look at Mary Poppins. They have a whole song and dance where the bankers are teaching the little kids to save their money in the bank and how good it is. At no point do you ever hear them talk about, we're going to teach you how to invest. You hear that? Did you hear that? No. The banks used to come to the public schools, here in the United States, and teach kids that you should get a passport savings account so you can save your money. What are you doing with my money? Oh, we're investing it, and we're going to make a whole boatload of money off of your money, and we're going to pay you a slither. We're making this much, and you're going to make this much. People don't pay attention. People do not pay attention. This is why I do what I do. Do you agree with tax on unrealized gains on assets? In a way, yes. In a way, yes. I want you to take a look at people like Bezos. He lives on unrealized assets. Why doesn't he have to pay taxes? Well, they're unrealized gains. That's why. I can take a loan out on that and live off the loan. Might even be able to get a write-off on the loan because I'm living off the loan and I got to pay it back and blah, 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 blah. The more money you make, the more loopholes that are availed to you. Legal loopholes. But if you have a loan on your unrealized gains, I think there is an opportunity to tax unrealized gains. If you have unrealized gains, but you don't have a loan on it, you're not living off of that, okay, then why should I bother you in your gains? But if you're living off of the equivalent of the realization of certain gains, okay, you should pay taxes on that. I mean, I think we could set it up so that you could have Well, I'm living off of, my unrealized gains is $1 billion a year, right? But I only actually tap into $100 million a year. Okay, I'm leveraging $100 million of my unrealized gains to live off of. Great. You should pay taxes on that. And I know it sounds harsh, but who's in the position to do that? Because if you own real estate, unrealized gains, you own stocks, unrealized gains. How many of you are savvy enough or have enough money to be able, or have enough holdings to be able to go get a loan on that and do what the wealthy are doing, living off those loans and not necessarily having a W-2 or job? Because you only get paid via, stocks or whatever. Your next door neighbor? No, we should be able to work out that math fairly easily. That's what I mean by pay your fair share. That's literally what I mean by pay your fair share. If I paid $100,000 for my house and they inflate the currency as a decade later, and my house is now $1 million, I have to pay tax on it? No. No. Because you're using your house to live in. You know what I mean? It'd be different if you took out a loan on your house, but if it's your private residence, no. Again, I am not, a mathematician or something like that, but I think there are opportunities for us to figure out how it is that we can actually come up with a formula that says you've actually realized gains. If you're realizing gains indirectly or directly, you should have to pay taxes on that money. I think we can figure that out. Because the only people that are bitching about unrealized gains are the wealthy, and they're making the rich a vast step below them, and the poor upset about it, but they're not in the same position as they are when it comes to unrealized gains. They're not in the same position. So no. No, 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 no. But are you, again, that is what they're proposing, but it's not just to hit crypto holders. It's to hit everybody. But the question is, have you leveraged, are you realizing gains indirectly from that investment? Right? Directly or indirectly. Realized gains, yeah, you get taxed on. Unrealized gains that you are leveraging, well, whatever you leverage, to me, that is, because there's a value that is set to what you're leveraging, pay taxes on it. Get rid of that little loophole. Get rid of that little loophole. It's not the little guy that would wind up paying. It would be the filthy rich that would wind up paying. It's not that hard to figure that out. It really isn't. You want to know what was hard to figure out? The NFL wild card. I was actually a part of the team that actually handled some of the immigration. I was doing admin work at the law firm that did it for that guy, his immigration. And that's what he did. And I'm sitting back and I'm just going, yeah, I think we could figure out that math. If they can figure out the freaking wild card for the NFL, increase the wild card for MLB and all the numbers they do there, trust me, we could figure out, realized gains. Oh, you took a loan out on it. Oh, I didn't realize my gains, but you did. Because if you default on a loan, that's how much money is going to go over here. That's realized gains. Both R&D propose something ridiculous. Yeah. It's sensational. They're not taking a pragmatic approach and saying to the normal people, let's say, well, here's the group of people that actually have unrealized gains. And then of that group of people that have unrealized gains, Here's the group of people that are actually realizing gains through the use of leverage or loans. Ain't no regular folk running around, you know what I mean, with a portfolio that big doing stuff like that. It's only the wealthy. It's only the wealthy. Oh, snap. Hold on, everybody. Ty showed up. You're on punishment. How you gonna pay me for something to not show up, man? I was looking forward to that conversation. Oh, I was looking forward to that. You disappointed me. You hurted me. You hurted me right here. Hurted. You heard what I said? Hurted me right here. Still crying about it. But there will be another class, and we'll put you in the other class, just like Captain Banana. I'm probably going to do a class, probably not this coming Sunday, because I'm thinking that we're going to do the meetup. So people like me, you, Joaquin, like everybody that's a member will show up, right? And we'll have a separate big bagger meetup starting next Sunday, right? And I'll set up the meeting. I'll set up the meeting tonight, get all my big baggers, put it all together, boom. And then I think on the following Sunday, we should be able to do another class, right? But at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means that people like Captain Banana that live on the West Coast, you know, it'll only be 1 o'clock for them. They'll actually be able to take part and still have a good time here so that people can take part. Just saying. I think that's a good idea. But man, you have I thought for sure you were going to be on. Like, what? Psh. I had my mama even show up. She a church lady. I mean, she couldn't stay the whole time. She had to go to church. But still, she showed up. You should be ashamed of yourself. Go stand in the corner. But let me read what you really said, all jokes. How is it not a realized gain if you're leveraging? Exactly. How is it not a realized gain if you're leveraging it? I don't get it. Captain Banana, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, how is that? Come on. We should be able to figure this out, and it's not even that. If an idiot like me can propose an idea, right? If you're able to leverage something, that portion, not the whole, unrealized gains, but that portion that you're leveraging should be taxed. Done. Crypto Sticko, what up? Oh man, you're gonna make a black man blush. It was a great class this morning. He did a good job. Thank you very much. And I'm almost done. Remember I told you I was revamping that document that I showed you? I'm revamping that, putting a whole bunch of information in it, and then I'm gonna shoot it out to everybody that registered for the class. Yo, Mr. Big, what's up? I was talking about you. In a good way. Right? Just, people looking at different things and looking at various coins and talking about, well, this coin, Well, like we got into a coin, and it was because of an article that I had picked out to show a lesson, right? And oh, dude, before I get into that story, let me tell you about how you can leverage against crypto. Ask MicroStrategy. How many times have they taken a loan against their Bitcoin just to go buy more Bitcoin? That's how. There's value in it. You just have to find a lender that's willing to say that I believe in the value of that, and here's the value. Boom, done. Dead serious. It's not that difficult. Sounds nuts, but it's not that difficult. Right? But we picked out back to the story. We picked out an article. I picked out a whole string of articles that we went over. And there was this one, Moon something or other. Moon crappy douchey, whatever. Actually, you know what? I have the notes. Hold on. I just want to see if it says it in these notes. Control F. Moon. Moon Taurus. Do not go look that up. It's not even listed. So we looked at it and it was like, it's not even listed. Its liquidity was $358. But they had a big article, which means they paid a PR firm to get it out there. Mostly covered by bots. But they have an article, a paid sponsored article out there. That's how they do it. So that one, Block Dag. There's another one that we found, Rabu. This was a great title. Crypto Sticko. Wasn't that a great title? It was anchored, right? It was anchored by Floki and Bitcoin. And then Rabu was right there in the middle, buried. Guilt by association. Guilt by association. And then these guys had gone through the whole class. And I said, okay, why is this article interesting to me? And they didn't nail it. They did not nail it. And this isn't a dig against them for not getting it. It's a reminder to even me who does research every day that unless you use the skills that you learn, you're never going to keep those skills. You have to hone those skills every day or they get dull every day. And I'm be totally frank with you. My nose is in the news every stinking day. And guess what? I'm imperfect. I get caught out there with something. I'm like, damn. I'll get halfway into the article and be like, damn. Shouldn't have clicked on this article. It was dumb as hell. It's BS. Oh, there's the PR. There's the press release. Or sometimes that doesn't even show up. They release it. They release a press release, but they know where they're releasing it. It will look like a sponsored article, not a press release. So they won't put press release on it because it's a sponsored article. And someplace on the page, maybe, if you're lucky, it'll say sponsored article. But you start to come across all those names and you start to realize so whenever I'm looking at titles, I have a list of names that will automatically get me to bypass that title. Just, nope, not going to pay attention to it. Boom, 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 boom. Hundreds of articles a day. I'm skimming through hundreds of articles a day. And I have to do that just to be able to get there. So think about this. I skim through literally hundreds of articles a day. And me and my crew only release somewhere between 10 and 20, give or take, per day. Because I know what topics are going to affect my bag. That's all I care about. What topics are going to affect my bag? All right, let me get back to this. So I have checked. There are no approved places to leverage crypto unless you're a big business and you're worth billions of dollars. You're not going to regular places like us. If you're Michael Saylor or MicroStrategy or Jeff Bezos or, freaking Bill Gates or whoever it is that's wealthy, you're not looking at the same lenders that we're looking at. You're not. You're absolutely not. They've got their own banks. You really think they're mucking around with JP Morgan? Bank of America, Wells Fargo? Pfft, stop it. I need a place to leverage my crypto. Where do I go? I don't leverage my crypto. I'm not at that level yet, so I wouldn't be able to answer that question for you. Do you leverage it at the bottom or top of the market? I don't know who else does. Who leverages their crypto? Those are good questions. I'm not leveraging anything. I'm not playing the degen game. It's a quick way to get liquidated. But if you're talking about leverage the way I'm talking about leverage, I'm talking about, Michael Saylor or MicroStrategy is going out and getting and securing a loan, a long-term loan against their Bitcoin holdings to get cash to buy more Bitcoin. in the hopes that that Bitcoin will go up. And also, you have to keep in mind, MicroStrategy makes money. Aside from crypto, that's a real business. They make money. Paying back that loan, not a problem. Not a problem. They got it going on. That's what we have to pay attention to. That's why I keep telling everybody it's what you mean by leverage. If you're placing bets, that kind of leverage, yeah, I don't do that. I would be interested to find out what banks are giving those kinds of loans. They're going to be major investment banks, private investment banks, things like that. And there are some big boys out there that do that, that specialize in that. Specialize in that. I mean, think about it. When somebody goes to buy, one of these $100 million, $200 million yachts, do you honestly think they use their cash to go buy that? They got a loan against their assets, whether it was the artwork that they're keeping in Florida, right? Because they can go bankrupt and you can't seize that artwork and you can't seize their home. Boom. It's going to be something like that, or their stock holdings, or their Bitcoin holdings. Yeah. Things like that. They're not going to JP Morgan, Bank of America. That's not where they're going. That's not where they're going. So that's what I'm thinking about. Do you leverage at the top? I mean, math would tell me I wouldn't leverage at the top, right? Math would tell me at what point is a good time to actually trigger leverage if I was leveraging. I'm not leveraging jack. Maybe when I get rich, when I get wealthy, maybe I'll leverage. Because again, the more money you make, the more loopholes that are available to you, and leveraging your assets or unrealized gains is one of them. Just saying. Just saying. It's cray. It's absolutely cray. Absolutely cray. So when I look at everything, I'm just going, yeah, I am an investment like whore. Lack of a better term. I'm all about getting out there and investing. Not saving. I'm all about learning more about investing. Not saving. That's that banking trick that they got you on. Oh, you should save your money. You should save your money. You should save your money. Yeah, you should save your money to invest your money. Your money should be making money for you. That's what should be happening. And most people are not getting that. And I hope that one day they do. I hope that one day they learn how to do their own research. I hope that one day they all read my book on how to build multi-generational wealth using crypto. I hope. I pray. Because the dystopian future isn't so far-fetched. It's here and now. That's what's so scary about it. It's here and now. You ever look at some of these salaries? They make just enough to eke out a living. Back in the day, 2 years worth of salary, you could buy a house outright. What's that calculation now? Sure as hell ain't 2 years. Know how much money you'd have to make to buy a $400,000 house? $200,000 a year? If it was 2 years, you know what I mean? The equivalent of? That's not happening. If so, where are you making that money? It has to be a remote job and your house is in Podunk. That's no joke. That is no joke. So what I'm hoping for is that people catch up. They start doing their research. They start investing. They start asking questions like that. How do you leverage? When do you leverage? What kind of leverage are you talking about? Are you talking about long-term or just playing Russian roulette with your money? Two different kinds of leverage that we're talking about. I want to leverage like Michael Saylor. I do not want to do, degen crap with my crypto. And just to get freaking wrecked. Nope. It's fun. It's like gambling. It's fun, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to find as many sure things or as close to sure things as I can. Again, I'm not living for my first name. I'm living for my last name. I'm living for my kids. I'm not living for anything else. Do I want to enjoy life? Of course. But do I want them in a position where they'll be able to enjoy life and be able to grow on what I've built so that they can give their kids, my grandchildren, a better start? Yes. And it's not easy. It is not easy. I had to pay car insurance the other day. This is why I invest. I had to pay car insurance the other day. My kids were like, because I started having my two oldest start paying into car insurance, right? And they were like, car insurance, Then they went out there and they shopped around for car insurance, and they were like, ooh. I see what you're talking about, Dad. I see what you're talking about. Adulting is no joke. A part of adulting is learning how to invest, not how to save. It's learning how to invest. How many of you out there, actually, you know what? That's a good question. Well, I'm not going to do it as a poll, but how many of you out there, how old were you when you learned about investing? Real investing. Not putting your money in a mutual fund or a money market, putting in a savings account. I mean, real investing. What we're doing here. How old were you when you started learning about that? I'll tell you what, I knew about it when I was younger. I wasn't making enough money for it to matter. Right? Then when I started making enough money for it to matter, I was like, oh, okay, let me go try to figure this out. It's no joke. Where are your kids going to learn about that? Are they learning about it in school? Tell me what school. Tell me what school. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. I hope you're not drunk, since you probably had glass in your hand before I did. Patient one, don't forget, you owe Hutanic a smack in the back of the head. Get that neck. You know what I mean? Just get that neck. That's a good one too. Makes a good sound. I remember when I was a kid, if you got a new haircut, boy, that neck was getting smacked. That neck was getting smacked, and you would come from downtown with that smack. It was fun. Everybody got their turn. What do you want, Stitchy? He wants attention. Anyway, I hope to see you all in class one day. I hope you're buying the book. I hope you're doing your studying. And we've got more coming. We've got a hell of a lot more coming. And yes, everybody that signed up for the class, you will get that document. Bear with me. I'm trying to have it done today, but, I'd like to enjoy the rest. Look pretty, but you'll receive something in just a little bit. Anyway, everybody, enjoy your day, and thank you so much for your time with me. I greatly appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.